Well, traveling abroad is an age-old phenomenon. In fact, it is as old as Adam. In recent times, traveling abroad has become popular amongst the youth of developing countries. The UK, in particular, has been a popular travel destination probably because of its flexible immigration rules. As a result of this, in the year 2023 alone, the net migration of the UK stood at 750,000. This phenomenon, experts say, poses a major threat to the economy. As a result of this, the UK government has announced a number of policies to curtail the phenomenon. Okay, now let's see what measures have been proposed to reduce this migration, net migration. This is a document from, yes, the House of Commons Library. The House of Commons Library in the UK regarding the changes to legal migration rules for family and work visas in 2024. The first one. Now let's see. In order not to adulterate the message, I'm going to try to read from the document and try explaining in the best possible terms. On 4th December 2023, the Home Office, the Home Secretary, James Cleverly, announced future changes to visa rules in what he described as a 5-point plan to reduce immigration. The Home Office has published a press release and a fact sheet document about the proposed changes, but not a detailed policy statement. Many details have not yet been announced or even decided. This means it is not always possible to say how exactly the changes will affect people in different circumstances. The changes are not due to take effect until spring 2024, but further information is likely to be released, including in response to questions from MPs in the meantime. So the crux of this introduction is that, yes, indeed, steps have been made to curtail this menace of net migration. So let's look at the 5-point changes that have been announced. 1. Social care workers will not be allowed to bring dependents, that is partners and children, on their visa. And so hitherto or currently, if you are a social care worker, you could bring your dependents. Your dependents, by classical definition, is anybody being a relative or a family member who depends on you for survival. So if you were a married man, for example, you could come with your wife, you could come with your children as well. But with a new policy proposal to cut down this net immigration, if you're a social worker, you are not permitted to come with your spouse and children. That is the first point. The second point is that the baseline minimum salary to be sponsored for a skilled worker visa will rise from 26,200 to 38,700. Yes. So currently, skilled worker visas, people with special skills who were granted visas to the UK are obliged, their employers are obliged to pay them a minimum of 26,200. Now, this baseline, this 26,200, that is per year, this 26,200 is going to rise to 38,700 pounds. What this means is that your employer would have to pay more before he brings you. The overall effect is that since the employer is going to pay more, he'll be hesitant in issuing you your COS, your certificate of sponsorship. And so it is generally going to reduce the number of people who are able to enter the country by dint of a special skilled worker visa. The third point is that changes to the shortage occupation, changes to the workers of changes to the shortage occupation list to significantly reduce the number of jobs. Yes, so there is a category, there was a list known as the shortage occupation. These are jobs that there aren't enough people into it. There was a shortage, general shortage of personnel or employees in these job areas. It includes laboratory technicians, it includes dancers and choreographers and the likes. They are going to review these jobs. So they are going to cut down the number of jobs. What it means is that they are going to remove some categories. For example, choreographers happen to be part of the categories of of the list of shortage occupation, but it is likely they might be taken out of the list. All of these are done with a view to reducing the menace, what they refer to as the menace of net migration. So that is the third one. Now, the fourth one is the minimum income. The minimum income normally required to sponsor someone for a spouse or partner visa will rise from 18,600 to 38,700. Yes. As part of your requirements as a spouse, if you want to bring your spouse from home, you were required to show evidence of your ability to cater for your spouse. And so you needed an amount of 18,600 pounds in your account to be able to do this. But this time it's been raised to as much as 38,700. It means that before you can bring your spouse to join you, you need to have an amount of 38,700 instead of 18,600. And this is a very marked and significant change to the visa rule. Well, what it means is that it still has the potential to reduce the number of immigrants. And finally, the Migration Advisory Committee will review the graduate visa. Yes, this has been in the news, particularly amongst uh, those who want to come and further their education and all that. Um, as a student, I was permitted to come uh, with a partner, with my partner. Yes, my dependent, so to speak. But with a review, there's a possibility that they are going to face off that policy that allows you to come with your partner. So these are the five major changes proposals they have made. First of all, they are saying that a social worker cannot come with a social worker cannot come with his partners. The baseline minimum salary is also going to go up. What it means is that your employer will be hesitant in employing you because initially your employer needed to pay you 26,200 annually. This time around, he has to pay you 38,700 pounds. What it means is that your employer is going to be hesitant in issuing uh, you a certificate of sponsorship, and that will go down to affect the number of immigrants. Thirdly, there will be changes to the occupation shortage list, the shortage occupation list. Yes, all in the bid to reducing the uh, net flow of people, the immigration of people. And then the minimum income normally required to sponsor a spouse. You have a spouse, just as I said earlier, you have a spouse, you needed 18,600 pounds to be able to bring your spouse here. This time it's been raised to 38,700. It means that you need a lot of money to be able to bring your spouse. So it is also one of the changes, significant changes that has been made. And the Migration Advisory Committee will also reduce the graduate visa, which is a 2-year unsponsored, so and so and so on and so forth. So these are the major changes that have been proposed. Um, yes, I'm sure uh, all hope is not lost. Your dream of traveling abroad is not in the balance. Let's see until they finalize on these new policies. Let's keep our fingers crossed. I'll see you some other time. Thank you.